Hi everyone, it's Abs here from My Fiery Phoenix. Hopefully this is the first live Q&A session. You can see it. Now I don't know that anybody is actually for today's session. Hopefully they, and if so, please drop a message into the chat, which is over on this side. If you've got any questions for me, please pop them into capitals so that it stands out when I'm looking through any of the comments for the particular live session. I've got a selection of 10 questions that throw pretty regularly on the videos that I create, all from Starting to Sew group, and I'll be answering some of those. If you've got any other questions, then please pop them in the comments. I stick them in all caps so that we know, or I can find them easily as I'm looking through those questions. It seems that there's a bit of buffering going on, so please bear with me. And as we get used to doing this, or as I get used to doing this, hopefully we'll improve. But we're moving on to my first question. Lots of these are on the presser feet that I done a series of recording for. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, these are the presser in question, and it's a set. I've simply bought a set of 32. I simply bought a set 2 of Amazon. I didn't know anything particularly about them before. This is very poor streaming for some reason. This is just a random set I've used, and I've been consistently using that set all of my tutorials. There is a link if somebody wants to buy the app that I'm using, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend them against anyone's masses of testing, and it's just the set that I'm using. So, moving to the question, what machines do the presser feet work on? They definitely do work on a slant foot machine. Machines that I use on is a Singer Tradition. It's a bog standard sewing machine, and I use a really basic sewing, because if some process or skill works on a sewing machine, then it will work on any of the slightly fat versions. And the feet, majority of feet have these bars across here, bar attachment foot. So you need to check your sewing machine will take bar attachment foot. Each of the video tutorials I've done for presser feet will take you through in detail and give you how you attach the foot, what it works, and the details around that specific foot. How do I size my buttonholes? I tend to literally place the button on the fabric and then mark off and below the buttons to ease through. And you can get some automatic sewing machine feet, which means you can pop the button back of that foot and sizes the buttonhole for you. However, I don't use those in the demonstration that I've recorded. I use a very simple foot where you have to mark out the size of the buttonhole first. That will then give you the set that you work it manually. If an automated buttonhole foot, then you can drop the button in the top of the foot and then sizes the hole for you. And that was a question from Claire Yu and Donna Doyle. Another question relating to video is from Sierra, and she's asking, what are you clicking as you're moving through the stages of the buttonhole? I have my sewing in here, and hopefully this will appear in shot, but basically I'm doing this, which is so you can hear the clicking in the video, and it's simply stepping through the stitches for 1, which will take you down the left side, 2 will take you across the bottom, 3 will take you on the right side, and 4 will take you across the top. So it is simply this dial that I'm clicking through during that video. So hopefully, Sierra, that explains what the clicking noise is for you. There's a question from Madison regarding the hem, and she wants to know, would a rolled hem be suitable for finishing them on a chiffon press? Yes, of course. A rolled hem would look absolutely beautiful. It would be very simple, and it would be very subtle. However, if you wanted something that would make more of a statement, I could suggest you use something either the same colour as the prom dress that you've already, or go for something which is a contrast or a darker, lighter. So you've got a statement if you wanted to pick out the hemline as some sort of statement for the dress. But if you wanted something subtle, then absolutely a rayon chiffon would be beautiful. Fanimal Central HD has asked, what is a sewing spider? I use sewing spiders in the middle of the tutorial. I use them fairly frequently when I'm sewing. And a sewing spider is a piece of fabric, a spare scrap of fabric, which you run through the sewing machine before you start sewing your project. So you before I quilt, before I start working on any seams, basic sewing captures any potential knots or in the thread, so that you can deal with that clearly and cleanly before you're actually working on the project itself. There is a video tutorial specifically sewing spiders first that I did, so I'll pop a link to that in the description under this video. So if you watch it back, it's no longer live. I will add in links to the videos that I referenced, so the main presser foot collection, the buttonhole video, hem video, sewing spiders that I have mentioned as I continue through these questions. So hopefully animal that has answered for you what a sewing spider does. It catches all those dots and gollies before you start your your project piece. Now my questions are off this side, which I keep looking to one side. I haven't gotten to which I do apologize. My next question comes from Open Link Light, which is, when would you do a 3-cord stitch? Now a 3-cord stitch is a stitch sewing machine which jumps across 3 cords. So you can add a decorative to bags or jackets, cushions, quilt blocks, curtains. I mean, it's just a decorative effect. It's not something you use to physically piece something together, but it can make a very, very attractive decorative fish. Ornella has asked, have you cleared your cabin now, and did you manage to get everything in before the rain hit? Thankfully, yes, I did manage to get back inside the cabin. We sorted it before the rain hit. However, no, it's still a work in progress. As I make big steps forward with the clearing of the craft cabin, then I'll share those with you. But at the moment, no, I don't have a beautiful, perfect, organised cabin. But I've got something that I can work in. I'm very happy for that. I'm thankful for the small pieces. And one of the questions that I get asked by lots of people is, when you're not doing a video, where can we find help online? And I would say I've got a website, I've got a Facebook page, and I have a Facebook group. Now the Facebook group is Starting to Sew, with Facebook group for knit and starting to crochet as well, if you're starting out in 3 skills. Starting to is a lovely group. It's filled with thousands and thousands of lovely people who all share their ideas and suggestions, and if you've got a question any time, there will always be someone around who can answer questions. So go check out Starting to Sew. Starting to Knit and Starting to Crochet are very new. I only created those groups very, very recently, as people were starting to post more and more knitting and crochet items in the sewing group. So I've created some other areas, so if you want to go along and ask for help for your knitting or crochet, then those are the groups that that I'm involved in. If you want to come along to those, if you want to see other groups that I'm involved with. I run online courses, I run face-to-face courses, if you want to learn how to sew. So if that's the case, then get in touch, or check out the website. And I think, as nobody seems to have popped on during their lunch hour, that I will call this a day for now. We seem to be having some issues with buffering, so I'll try and sort those out for next time. But that's most of my questions answered for today. A lot of them have been around the presser foot collection. So hopefully, as this is one of the most popular series of videos, a lot of you will hopefully get some information from that. If you have any questions, then please drop those into comments at the bottom of this video after it's finished being live. You'll still be able to watch it back, even if you weren't around today at lunchtime. I know that a lot of my viewers are in other continents and other time zones, so they'll pick this up when they're able to do so. So hi there for anybody who's not actually having lunch right now. And hopefully, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll be able to do more live Q&As, and we can get a bit more interaction going. And I will hopefully be running live sew along. The one that I'm thinking about doing is for the candle mat wreath. So if you have suggestions, or if you want to do a candle wreath sew along, then please let me know, and we'll get that organised. But for now, I'll say see you later.